Maybe a marriage relationship. I'm just kidding. So, Mariko, for individuals who have tried working on Upwork but have been unable to get a job, they've not been able to secure a job, and now they are considering giving up. I know you've advised us about how to get first jobs, but now those that are trying to give up, like they felt like it's like this Upwork thing is not my thing. What advice do you have for them? Welcome to another exciting episode of the Freelance Spotlight. I'm your host, Sunday Abegunde, and in today's episode, who is in the spotlight? We have the privilege of diving into the world of freelancing with the incredible Mariko Barra. Mariko is an accomplished designer, author, and Upwork coach, bringing over 10 years of experience on the platform. Get ready to uncover the secret to success on Upwork as Mariko shares a practical tips, strategies, and inspiring stories. Let's jump into this engaging conversation with Mariko Barra on the Freelance Spotlight. Welcome, Mariko Barra.
Thank you so much, Sunday, for the great introduction, and I'm really excited to talk with you.
Thank you, Mariko. Before we dive into the world of freelancing, I would love to know what initially drew you to the gig economy and Upwork in particular. Could you share a bit about your journey and what inspired you to embark on this path?
Well, I was actually looking for opportunities to work from home so that I could combine it with other activities and just have my own schedule and look for the projects that I loved. I was originally looking for projects in my local town. Someday I was looking up information about a problem I had with some HTML I was looking into. And one of the search results was a job description for a job on Elance, which is actually a platform that existed before Upwork. Later on, it merged with Odesk to become Upwork. So I didn't even know there were such platforms to find clients. So it was a coincidence. I got onto the platform, and that job description that I found in the search results, I actually did apply for that job and I got it. So that was the start of me going on what later became Upwork.
Wow, interesting. Did you leave your 9 to 5 for full-time freelancing, or you do freelancing on the part-time basis?
I do freelancing on a part-time basis, but I don't have a 9 to 5 job either. So freelancing is all I do.
Wow, amazing. So you are more or less a full-time freelancer right about now?
Yeah, I do it half-time because I have other activities I like to do and volunteer work, but it's my main source of income. Let's say it like that.
Okay, amazing. So to our audience, to our listener on Apple Music, to our audience on YouTube, thank you for joining us. So Mariko is from Belgium and I am from Nigeria. Let us know where you are watching from. Comment and connect with other freelancers from around the world in the comment section. Share your location, at least your country, and be part of this conversation, be part of this community. So to the first question we have for Mariko Barra. Mariko, having worked on freelance platforms since the days of Odesk and witnessing the transition to Upwork, could you share your experience as a freelancer on Odesk compared to the notable changes and improvements you have observed on Upwork? That means like the change in the platform itself, like were there some things that used to exist, some features that you used to have on Odesk that are no longer on Upwork, or it is exactly the same way it was and just transitioned to Upwork?
It's an interesting question. Like you say, it used to be Odesk. There was also Elance, and they came together to form Upwork. I have never used Odesk. I used Elance, so I can't say much about Odesk. But Elance, it's also been several years, so I don't really remember all the features. I do remember that I was worried when they announced that it was going to be a different platform and things were going to change. Obviously, if it would happen now, if Upwork would announce they merge with some other company, we would be worried too.
Like Fiverr.
Yeah, for example. So it would be like,
I would love to see that happen.
wow. So yeah, I was worried, like many freelancers, about this transition to new platform or different platform. But what really helped me, like, calm me down is that they said all the testimonials that we had on the previous platform on Elance, that they were going to transfer it to Upwork, and also with the job title So that was a big relief, because obviously features change and they keep changing. It happens now too. But the main thing, the things that we have built, our reputation that we can show with the testimonials, I think that's the most important thing. And I was glad that they transferred it. So I'm fine. That's the main thing I remember, because we can be happy or not happy about certain features, but it's outside our control. So we can only adapt and make sure that our reputation is fine. For example, with the testimonials in the portfolio. So I always focus on that, and the features, it is what it is.
Amazing. And if you're enjoying this conversation, please don't forget to give the like button a high five. Okay, so talking about the changes recently made on Upwork with their badges, which received mixed reactions from freelancers. What are your thoughts on the changes, especially regarding the top rated plus badge color transitioned from pink to blue? How do you believe these badges changes can impact freelancers' perception and opportunities?
Well, yeah, it's a very recent change. I was looking at it today, and yeah, they changed the color. Like previously there was a blue and a pink badge, and now the colors are inverted. So it is a little bit confusing. And on our profiles, the top rated plus badge is now blue, but in the search result, it still shows up like previously, pink. So, okay, it is confusing, but maybe in a short while it will change again.
Maybe the badges are in beta stage. Maybe they are just testing it. I don't know. But I know Upwork, when they make changes like that, they seldom revert back to the former thing. They look for ways to make the new one work. I think probably it might grow on us.
Yeah, and I think, well, I'm not too worried about what do they look like. I do believe that having the badges there, that it does help us as freelancers to stand out, and it shows clients, yeah, that we have achieved a lot of things already, that we have worked with past clients, that we have a certain status. It also shows with the job success score. So I'm not too worried about the colors. I think it's just about showing
the functionality, the perks that come with the badge.
Exactly.
That means we will still enjoy the perks that come with the badge, and that is the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, like this week I had a client who gave me a bad review. I think a 3-star or 2.5 star. I had worked with this client in 2021. The last comment the client gave me was, "This work is perfect." And the client ghosted me, gave me a very positive feedback, like text form, like in the message form. Then I think Upwork notified the client to close the contract or something. So I just know the client closed the contract this week. That was after like 2 years, and gave me a bad review. And I knew it does not reflect the work I did for the client. One of my perks as a top rated plus is that I can remove a bad review. So I did that for that review, so it does not affect my profile. So I think going by Mariko Barra's word, the features, the perks of the badges are more important than the color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, as an Upwork coach with over 10 years experience on the platform, what are some common mistakes you see freelancers making when trying to secure their first job, and how can they overcome these obstacles in securing their chances of success?
I think it's very tempting to focus too much on yourself as a freelancer. When you're trying to get that first job, obviously you want it, and maybe after a while you even get desperate. So you really want to prove that you're the best person to do it. And that's when people start talking about themselves way too much. So it helps much more starting to talk about what the client really needs, instead of like trying to say, I have this experience, or I can work with such and such and such software, and all the time talking about ourselves. I've also seen in some profiles that people add testimonials from previous clients, which is great, obviously, but then there is no name. It's just something supposedly a client said, and yeah, it's easy to make that up too. So it doesn't create much trust if there is no name next to that testimonial, or sometimes a portfolio that's a bit weak. It's hard to get a first job when the profile itself is weak. So that's going to be a difficult one.
Okay, so I love the fact that you mentioned that the freelancer should have a strong profile, as this would help you to get your first job. And then I love this unique idea of incorporating testimonials from past clients into our proposals. The amazing thing is that Upwork has a provision for a place on your profile where you can add testimonials of people, even clients you've worked with outside of Upwork, that they can add their testimonial to it. And that is linked to their external platform like LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is believed to be a platform that can authenticate you as a professional, because they have good training measures, like of screening out the chaff from the wheat.
Exactly.
So I love that. Yeah. Then talking about making your proposal unique with adding the feedback, you can add 1 or 2 feedback from past similar clients to your current proposal for the job you are applying for. Then, like Mariko Barra said, ensure you add the names. Don't just add the testimonial, so the prospective client is not thinking you just made up the names, and it makes them skeptical about you. Then it's very good. I actually love this idea of adding your testimonial to your proposal, because not many freelancers do it. And if you're thinking that, oh, the client is going to go to my profile and check the reviews, sometimes some of these clients don't even know how to navigate their ways around Upwork very well. So they are depending on you as a freelancer to lead them. And even if you are not leading them through all of Upwork, lead them to get the right information from you so that they can hire you and not that other freelancer. Thank you, Mariko Barra.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about, we have to make the client's job easier. We can't expect them to go through our whole profile. We can guide them, like you said, and we can even like combine the testimonial with the actual work. Like if it was a website, we can put a link to the website and say, what did we do for the website? And this is what the client said about it. That makes it very powerful, because the work and the testimonial, so that creates a lot of authority.
Wow, I love that. Another big one there. Like, okay, so just so we don't stay too long on the podcast, I really love that. I would have loved us to discuss. We'll come back to that if we have the leisure of time. So building a sustainable and consistent income as a freelancer is a vital thing many freelancers seek. So what advice do you have for freelancers who have had success securing their first job, but they are struggling to secure long-term retainer jobs or high-paying clients on Upwork? We have people who have top-rated plus badges, but they are not getting sufficient inflow of jobs. What advice do you have for such people?
Well, I always believe that we can learn from each client. Like, we can take courses, but the client, it's where we learn the most from. Especially if we ask them, they will tell us what they liked about our work or what wasn't, what they liked, or we can even, I even did that. Like at the end of the job, I asked the client, now that you know everything that I did, what do you think about the price that you paid? Was it worth it? Was it worth more? And the client actually said, yeah, it was worth much more. And that also gave me confidence for bidding higher on similar projects. So yeah, I always think that learning from clients is great. Sometimes they also tell you, like, previously I worked with another freelancer and I didn't like that he or she did certain things. So that is a great way to learn for us. I always think, oh, okay, if they didn't like that, then I shouldn't do that either. So there's lots of little details we can learn from each client. And then always going for the highest quality that we can deliver, having good communication with our clients, like not waiting for the clients to write us an email asking, how is the project going? And they shouldn't be rushing us. It should be the other way around. Like, we should be the ones to send them our updates, making them feel relaxed about everything. So I think those are small things we can do for extra satisfaction, and then it's very likely that a big percentage of those clients come back for more work, and that is how we can have more success. When the same clients come back, it's much easier than finding new clients all the time.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Then I think we are having a discussion some times ago, and then you told me about that clients who work with you the first time have a tendency for needing that same service again.
Yeah, Exactly. It's rarely
They have a
a
tendency for needing
one-time
service.
thing, right? So if they are
Yes.
happy with how you did it, why would they go anywhere else? So we just have to make sure they're 100% happy and they will come back with the same job. Or sometimes after a while, if they start trusting you, they can ask you for other tasks as well because they already have this connection with you. They trust you. And that is the wonderful thing, that it even gives you an opportunity to learn new skills by doing more work for the same clients.
So retainer client is the secret of even most top-rated freelancers, most expert-vetted freelancers. It's not that they have 100 high-paying clients. So like when you get a regular client, okay, I discussed that in a video I'm presently making about how to increase your fee on Upwork. And I'm going to tag that video at the end of this particular video when it's out. So when you work with a client, for example, the client is giving you a $50 job. In the client's mind, the client wants you to do that $50 writing job, and then the write says au revoir, or bye-bye, or bonjour, or danke. So the client wants to go after giving you a $50 job. So you are the one who would propose to the client saying, okay, if the client comes back for the same project, we'll do the third project for free. You are incentivizing the client. Another way you can incentivize the client from being a normal client to becoming a retainer client is you can offer a package. For example, once the client sends you an offer of a $50 job, you can tell the client, oh, this is nice, but if you won't mind, I would do 10 of this for just $400. So 10 of that is supposed to be $500, but now you're offering to do it for $400. So the client is going to see that they are saving $100, but in the real sense, you are making $400 instead of making just $50. And by doing that, you are making more money. And hopefully the client keeps coming back that way, because like Mariko Barra once told me, the client would likely keep needing that service, at least at sporadic interval or even presently.
Exactly. Yeah, great idea too about packages. Exactly. Yeah, and once we have been working for a while with a client and we know a bit more about their business, it's also easier for us. We could suggest something like, we've noticed such and such could be improved as well. So we can be like, take initiative with that. We don't have to wait for them to come ask us.
Yeah, I love that, because the truth is there are some services that the client needs that they don't even know they need.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us in this conversation. Don't forget to comment in this session what year you joined Upwork. I love the fact that Mariko Barra told us that she joined Upwork when Upwork was still Elance. I was not with Elance or Odes. She's a senior colleague by the years. Okay, so now let's talk about your book, Mariko. Your book, You Can Stand Out on Upwork. The book emphasizes the importance of distinguishing yourself from the crowd on Upwork. Yes, some people would even argue that Upwork is oversaturated. So can you share specific strategies or techniques that freelancers can use to really stand out on Upwork and capture the attention of prospective clients?
Well, there's several things that we can do as freelancers. Obviously, there is the part of our proposal. The book is mainly about that, about how to write a good proposal, how to address the client, and how to focus it really on their needs and not so much, I have that many years of experience and I've read the job description and I can work with such and such software, but imagining what it's like for the client, what do they really need, find a way to really be aligned with them so they can see that we get them, that we understand them. And it's also a lot about, don't just say it, don't just say, I'm the perfect person for the job, but show it.
Ow.
It's about showing that value. It can be by, for example, mentioning our process, like step 1 is going to be that, then we do step 2, step 3, and it for a client like, okay, it's easy to understand and it shows that this person knows exactly what has to be done. So that is one strategy.
Wow, I love this. Yeah, this is fantastic. This is so fantastic. I love the concept of show it. Don't just say it. Don't just have a very long proposal. I'm not saying long proposals don't work for some people, provided you have the details to input. But remember that clients don't have all the time in the world to spend on your own proposal. The client will still review maybe 50 other proposals or 20 other proposals. You want to capture the client's attention in the least possible words. So I love the fact that Mariko is telling us to show it. And she mentioned something about being personal. with the client. This is important. Don't spend all time talking about yourself. I have 19 years experience in blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I have 22 years. Yes, we know that is important, but it is minor. The major part of your proposal should be talking about the client, the solution you can offer. Okay, I have checked your website. I observed that there are some typos on the landing page. I can help you correct that. I saw that the color is not consistent on your website. I can help you correct that. Oh, you might need a video spokesperson to ensure that the sales of your products goes faster. Like, you want to suggest things to prove to the client that you are an expert without even saying that I am an expert in blah, blah, blah. You are already showing it in the way you present yourself in the proposal. I love that, Mariko Barra.
Great. Yeah, and I love how you said it. Like, we don't have to say, I am an expert. They will see it by our approach. So that is, again, just show it. It's better than empty words, right?
Yes.
And something that can help us be really expert is also to find our niche. Like, instead of, because I see many freelancers who they say, maybe, oh, I'm a virtual assistant or I'm a designer, but then what specifically do you design? It's really for a specific industry or a specific style. It's much easier for a client also to see, oh, this one stands out because this is exactly the industry I am in. So obviously it's easier to trust that person. It's a way also for us to be more expert, more confident, because working with the same sort of clients multiple times, it gives us much more insights into that industry, or like, what do those clients need? So it's going to be easier to be aligned with them. So it's, of course, it doesn't happen in one day, but we can work towards that. And in the end, we can stand out.
I love that. It's a gradual process. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so please, our viewers, you can join the thriving community of freelancers on WhatsApp. It's 100% free. And I hope Mariko Barra will send us a link to our book. We might be able to share it in the community for those of you who will be interested in reading Mariko Barra's book. The book is amazing. You can check out some extracts of it on our LinkedIn page. She is very active on LinkedIn. You can even follow Mariko Barra. She shares some important tips regularly, so you can look that up.
Yeah, great. I would love to connect with anybody who's interested, who has a question. Looking forward to getting to know you.
Okay, so back to the questions, Mariko Barra. So researching the client and the project before submitting a proposal sometimes is very essential. Mm-hmm. So what are some specific steps that you think freelancers should take to gather information and tailor their proposals accordingly?
Okay, a first step is like trying to find out their name, because usually it's not in the job description and we just can't see it. But then if we scroll down, and sometimes in the testimonials or the reviews, other freelancers give that client, we can find the name. And then if we use that name, of course, that is touch, makes it a little bit more personal. Some clients share their website or some information in the job description that helps us to figure out who they are. So then definitely look into that, because if they give that information, make use of it, it helps to personalize our proposal. Many don't give the information. I usually just choose the job descriptions where there is sufficient information, because I really believe in the personal approach. And if I can find them on LinkedIn, for example, then after sending my proposal, I also sent them a connection request on LinkedIn, not to take the job outside Upwork, obviously, because that's not the point, but just to let them know, hey, I applied for a job on Upwork, seems really interesting. I thought it would be nice to connect here too, so we can get to know each other. And of course, it makes it much more likely that they will actually open that proposal. So yeah, that has worked very well.
They would even look out for your own specific proposal.
Yeah, exactly, because
I love that idea.
I don't know how many are going to connect with the client. Maybe only one or two of those who applied. So obviously, it's also a way to stand out. It's going to make them remember you. So, yeah.
I love this idea. So adding to this idea you've shared is that, like, you can share the link to your profile with the clients when you message the person outside of Upwork that way, such that they can just click on the link, land on your profile. Then if they are pleased with what they see on your profile, they can just hire you straight up, since they already have a form of preference for you, maybe by the fact that you reached out to them, maybe on LinkedIn. Then even if you're reaching out to them on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile also has to be good. And because that means you're having your first impression created at that point. I love that.
Exactly. it helps a lot because our Upwork profile is all about the sort of work we do, but our LinkedIn profile also showed what sort of personality we have, how we engage with other people, what our interests are. So if it's a good profile, it will definitely also help to create some trust with the client.
Wow, lovely. That's fantastic. Okay, so can you share your personal experience, strategies, and reactions when you got your first job on Upwork? You know, like breaking the ice of getting the first job on Upwork. Then, like you said, on Elance, what was your reaction when you got the first job? What realities were attached to you getting that first job? You know, there's this guy, Adam Palmer, who would have him on the Freelance Spotlight. The author of Upwork Saved My Life. You can see like his branding on Twitter is Upwork Saved My Life. I really love that. So I think that tells a story about his first job on Upwork or his subsequent job. So can you tell us some insight into your first proposals or at least realities around your first job?
Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time. And I don't have the proposal anymore because it was on Elance and yeah, the proposal is gone. But obviously one remembers the first job. So it was somebody who worked at the university and needed a PowerPoint converted into different format. And it was my first time, but I thought, okay, I can relate to that person because if they teach at the university, then it has to be really high quality. It cannot have any errors or mistakes because it has to be super professional for them. So I just talked about that. And I also studied at university. I studied such and such, and I know how important this is for you. And I care a lot about all the details, double checking everything. And it seemed that was a way for us to connect. And I got that job and I kept doing that. I always try to find something that I have in common with the client, something that connects us. Sometimes it's a compliment, or like there was one who said on his website after researching a bit, said he's a lifelong learner. And then I said, hey, that's so cool. I'm a lifelong learner too. I'm learning this skill, and it just makes it easier because it's, instead of it being client and freelancer, it's like, hey, we're doing a similar thing, some connection that we establish. So that's how it started. And luckily for me, that same first client needed the same task several times. And every time he opened a new job for it. At the time, I didn't even think of it. But afterwards, I understood that it was an advantage because the more different jobs you have, and each time with the feedback, obviously it helps. So I could use the feedback from just that one client to get many other clients. So that's
lovely. So my takeaway points from that is we should find a nexus between us and the clients even before the contract started. And when the contract starts also, you can always find a nexus. I think I've shared on this channel my story of how I observed the client was a Christian, and she wants to design a Christian book cover, and as in, like, she has it all over her that she's a Christian, even the way she writes. So I saw that as a nexus to connect with that client, and I did that, opening my proposal with Calvary greetings. I don't mix religion with professionalism, but then I needed to do that. I love Mariko Barra's idea. Like, I think that's very wonderful. Fantastic.
Great. And I'm happy to see that this personal connection, it worked for you too. It also shows that we are interested in them, that it's not just, I read the job description. Yes, I can help you. Let's get started. But we go deeper than that. We actually care about what they do. So obviously they will appreciate that too.
Yeah, like that's lovely. Creating a friendship with the clients. I love that. To our audience out there, are you feeling motivated and inspired by Mariko Barra? Show your support by giving that like button a lovely tap. Thank you. Okay, so could you tell us, Mariko Barra, about the highest single contract you have secured on Upwork or Elance, and share your experience with using Upwork as a client yourself versus as a freelancer, if you've had that experience.
Okay. Yeah, I've had that experience. First to the first part, like the highest single contract, it's a bit difficult to say because some people, it's different contracts. So sharing a specific amount is a bit hard. But I can say that I guess like many freelancers when they start, I was very insecure about how much to charge. So when I started, it was like $200 websites or $300 websites that I set up. And now it's, instead of a couple of $100, it's a couple of $1,000. So and it's it's not harder to find those clients than when I did the $200 websites. It's just different sort of clients. So I just think that it's nice that everything is possible. We just have to find the right way to connect with those clients to find them. So I hope that gives a bit of courage also to those who are starting and thinking about how much to charge. We can grow in that. And I'm still growing in that too. Then you asked about experience using it as a client. Yeah, I've used Upwork as a client too. Not a lot, but recently when I was writing my book, I needed an editor. So I thought, of course, I'm going to look for an editor on Upwork. And I didn't put out a job. I just looked through the editors and looked at the testimonials on their profiles. And I just picked one, sent them an invite. No, first I chatted and then I invited him for the project. And it was great. It was absolutely great. What I loved is that, yeah, it was a profile with lots of testimonials. And what the other client said about the freelancer, it was really helpful. And they said some very specific things that I was looking for. I thought, okay, this is the guy I need for my book. So I think that just shows how important those testimonials are in our profile. It's very convincing. And because he didn't even have to convince me, he didn't write me a proposal or anything. It was just from his profile that I chose him. And he said, do you want to do it? Yes. Okay, let's do it. So
that calls our attention once again to having a strong profile, because you don't know who is checking your profile. So if your profile is not really good, you will not be getting job invitations. Like Mariko Barra had to invite some freelancers to work with her. I love that. Talking about confidence. So overcoming self-doubt and building confidence are essential for freelancers. How can freelancers develop and maintain a confident mindset in the face of challenges, rejection, and competition? Confidence to charge well, like you just mentioned, while taking meaningful actions to progress in their freelance career.
Yeah, it's a big thing, right? With self-confidence. Well, one important thing is not comparing ourselves with others, because we are all different, and even if we're offering a similar service, still we have our own approaches or our own style. So I think it's important not to let us discouraged by maybe what we see from others or think we do less. Always upskilling. I think that's very helpful. I very much believe in like taking courses. I still take courses regularly, and something that helps me a lot to gain more confidence is whenever I follow a course and it's really something that I want to apply, then I participate in there's always a class project or a task that you can do and send to the instructor and get feedback. That helps me a lot to get more confidence, because then I know it's somebody who is better than me at that skill, and I can learn from their personal feedback. I can even use that class project, what I did, in my own portfolio. So yeah, I think that is one important thing that we can do to get more confidence and be able to give more value to our clients.
Wow, that's lovely. That's lovely. You know, this answers a question of many new freelancers on Upwork who say things like, I am not confident because I don't have a portfolio. If you take trainings, maybe like when you're taking your training, doing the course, probably like a paid course, whether an online course. I remember taking a digital marketing course and I had to get a customer personnel for an arbitrary company, like a company that doesn't exist. But then I just had to like do the marketing, do the strategies, draw everything out. You can submit that as a portfolio or as a work you've done before. That is actually going to boost your confidence that you have something you've done before. I love that, Mariko Barra.
Exactly. Great. And then over time, obviously, you can replace those items with work you've done for real clients that were not just projects in a course. I think it's important to always keep our portfolio up to date because we keep learning. Sometimes I see portfolio and the person, they do amazing work, but then looking at their portfolio, it's nothing like the work they are doing now. So yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, I think some of us are just too lazy to review our portfolios.
Maybe. Yeah, but it's worth it to keep it up to date.
Yeah, ideally freelancers should revisit their portfolio at least maybe like every 6 months or 3 months. You know, I'm guilty of that myself. My present portfolio does not reflect my present skill level. My present portfolio is maybe like a year backwards. Do you get like some of my current jobs that are even way more amazing? Maybe like after I've taken some courses, they are not on my portfolio, but I think I'm still leveraging the fact that I still get jobs and then I have some retainer clients. But then ideally I'm supposed to renew my portfolio every 6 months. Now that I've mentioned it, I would try to do it, so I would stop feeling guilty.
Exactly.
So if you're watching us right now or you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon, if you're feeling the urge to hit the like button, please don't resist that temptation. Give it a tap. Okay, so what is your present Upwork badge, Mariko Barra? And what advice do you have for new freelancers aspiring to achieve that similar status?
Okay, yeah, at the moment I have the top rated badge, not the top rated plus. It depends on your earnings. And yeah, the last month I haven't been that active on Upwork actually because I had clients outside of Upwork, but I'm glad to be top rated. Obviously, just having those words on your profile, it stands for something. It means something. I also care a lot about the job success score, which is 100% at the moment.
Wow.
And
yeah, mine is presently 98.
Wow, that is amazing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is really important like to keep it close to 100% because it shows your quality, right? So I think in order to get that, I really believe in always deliver the best quality that we can. And something that helps do that is truly listening to our clients, what they need. Over time, I've learned to do more video calls with clients because in the past I just did email and it worked also, but I've noticed that when I get on a call with the client, it's much easier to understand them, to figure out the right approach or to expand the scope of the job. So yeah, getting on the call, seeing them face to face, it definitely helped to get a higher success score and top rated badge because we can understand better what they need, right?
Yeah, I love that. You know, the amazing thing about my conversation now with Mariko Barra is that I can see an attachment, like I can see like a chain of thoughts from our first question down to this one. Everything still hinge on the fact that you should personalize your relationship with the client and try to be as friendly or as personal with the client. I don't know, you can make of personal what you would, but then like try to get closer with the client, try to get off that client freelancer relationship. You want to create a different relationship with a client, whether a kind of friendship relationship, a brethren relationship, I don't know, whatever kind of relationship you want to create with a client, maybe a marriage relationship. I'm just kidding. But just try to create an attachment with the client. And something like video that Mariko Barra just mentioned is a very important one because a picture is said to be worth 1,000 words. How much more a video? That's 1 billion words. So if you can, so I used to say something like, my proposals are not targeted at making the client. My call to action for my proposals, depending on what I see on the description. My call to action is not hire me. It's not let's get started on the work. My call to action sometimes is let's jump on a video call or check out this Loom video I just created. So those things are things that not every freelancer will do. Most freelancers are appearing desperate to their clients by saying, give me the job, give me the job, give me the job. And that is exactly why they are not getting the job with some clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And like you said, you talked about what kind of relationships we can have. I really like to get to the point where we can be partners and not just like where the client is the boss and tells me what to do. Because that was what I was like in the past. They just say, I need such and such and such and such, a list of tasks, and I would do them. And that's it. But now it's more like being partners and being able to advise them instead of just following a list of tasks. And it's, much more fun and, much more rewarding. So the calls help to do that also.
Love that. So you are not just the client robots.
Exactly.
Okay, now like to the last question. If you're still with us till this point in time, man, I'm clapping for you.
Yay!
Okay, so Mariko, for individuals who have tried working on Upwork but have been unable to get a job, they've not been able to secure a job, and now they are considering giving up. I know you've advised us about how to get first jobs, but now those that are trying to give up, like they felt like, it's like this Upwork thing is not my thing. What advice or encouragement do you have for them?
Yeah, it can be super frustrating, and some people would advise is like you just have to keep trying and eventually you'll get there. Yeah, obviously it's like keep trying, but it's also like, how do you try? Because you can be trying the wrong way or repeating the same mistakes over and over, and then it doesn't matter if you keep applying 100 times, it's not gonna work. So it's great that nowadays there are all these resources to learn about what we can do. And of course, everybody has their own way. There's not just like one right way and everything else is wrong. But yeah, there's many people sharing good tips, like Sunday is sharing so many good tips on his YouTube channel. So that is something that can help. Yeah, we already talked about my book. That can help. So I think it's not just about trying. It's first, you need to get some good advice and then you can work with that, find your way. Sometimes it helps to talk with somebody also. It could be a coach or it could be another freelancer or even a friend. But when you feel like giving up, it helps to share it with somebody. And especially if it's somebody who can hold you accountable, like you can set the goal and they can check in with you. That is how you can keep your energy high. Yeah, those are a couple of things that might help.
I love that. We have added from Mariko Barra now that it's important that you keep trying. So I think I got my first job within my first 2 weeks or thereabouts, as I think in less than a week. So I did not even know it used to be very difficult for people to get their first job. I did not know. Then there are people who got their first job after 6 months. I know somebody who is presently 500K. He has earned over $500,000 on Upwork. I'm having a positive discussion with him to bring him to the Freelance Spotlight. And before he got his first job, it was after maybe like the 5th month. He was sending out proposals. He was doing everything he knows how to do. And he was still not getting that job. So what if he had stopped after 4 months of sending out proposals and not getting job? He would not be a 500K plus earner today. So keep trying, keep doing your best. Don't give up. It will all pay off in the long run. And you would forget by the time you get the job that there was a time you didn't get it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's worth the effort, totally. And it's worth experimenting too with different methods, seeing what works best for you and the type of clients you'd like to work with, because it all depends on your own personality too.
Yeah, then I have some tips on how to jumpstart your account just in case, like, there are two things. This does not even only apply to Upwork. It's a personal principle of mine. In this life, Alan, when you want to get something, there is the exogenous factor and then there is the endogenous factor. The exogenous factors are the factors that you have no power over. For example, the client might prefer to work with an African. The client might prefer to work with someone from Belgium like Mariko Barra. There is nothing you can do about that if you are from America or if you are from Germany. But the endogenous factors are the things like you ensuring your proposal is on point and tailored for each client, ensuring you have a strong profile and stuff like that. So if you do that, you have done your own part. But the exogenous factor, so you might still not get the job in your first week, second week. That's more reason why you need to keep trying. Okay, so a special thank you to Mariko Barra for joining us today and sharing our invaluable expertise on Upwork. Our insights have provided tremendous value to our audience on Spotify, on Apple Music, on YouTube, yeah. And thanks to our incredible audience, especially if you're still watching till now. Let me see a keyword you can type, whether I can review your Upwork profile for free. I'll do that for 2 people. I don't even collect money because like my time is too valuable. I have a lot of things calling for my time, so I don't even collect money to review. I would not do that. So even if you want to pay me, I don't. But now I'll do it for 2 people. If you're watching till this point in time, comment what keyword should we use, Mariko?
Yeah, or collaboration or something like that.
The word collaboration. So the first 2 people to comment the word collaboration, I'll reach out to you and get a way to get your Upwork link so I can review it for you. Okay, so thank you very much. Cool. We have come to the end of the show. So keep pursuing your freelance dream and never give up. Remember to subscribe and follow us on the Freelance Spotlight. So we will keep bringing amazing people like Mariko Barra. And if you want to share your story on Upwork, if you think you have a notable story to share with us on this platform, you can reach out to me or even let me know in the comment section. I will check you out. Thank you very much, Mariko Barra, once again.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure. And I hope lots of people comment collaboration because that's what it's all about, right? Those great collaborations.